They don't mark the turn on any official map, but every long-haul driver knows it's there. One wrong exit, one missed sign in the dark, and you end up on a stretch of road truckers quietly warn each other about over late-night radio chatter. The kind of road where the air feels wrong the moment your tires hit it. The kind where even seasoned drivers feel watched. And once you realize where you are, it's already too late to turn back, isn't it? I'd been driving for 11 hours straight when my GPS glitched out near the state line. No warning, no reroute prompt. Just silence and a frozen blue arrow pointing forward. The highway lights thinned out, the radio crackled with static, and my speedometer needle trembled like it was nervous. That's when I saw the mile marker, mile 13. Then strangely, another mile 13 less than a minute later. How does the same marker repeat unless the road itself is looping? The asphalt narrowed, trees pressed closer on both sides, and my headlights barely cut through the fog rolling low across the road. I remember gripping the steering wheel tighter, asking myself a simple question I couldn't shake. Why would a federal route suddenly feel abandoned? No exits, no reflectors, no oncoming traffic. Just my engine humming too loud in the silence. And then I noticed something worse. The road ahead looked dry, but my tires sounded wet. What exactly was I driving through? A shape appeared up ahead, standing just beyond the reach of my beams. At first I thought it was a deer. Then it moved, slowly, deliberately, straight into the center of my lane. Tall, too tall, no reflective eyes, no reaction to the horn when I laid on it. My heart kicked hard as I slammed the brakes, watching the figure blur past my windshield. But when I checked my mirrors, there was nothing behind me. No shadow, no movement. So why did my trailer suddenly feel heavier? That's when the radio came back on by itself. A man's voice whispered through the static, low and calm, like he'd been waiting. He didn't say my name. He didn't have to. He just asked, "Did you see it too?" I nearly drove off the road trying to reach the mic. Who was that? And how did he know what I'd just seen? The road dipped sharply, and for a split second my headlights revealed something no driver should ever see. Fresh skid marks going straight off into the trees. Deep ones, dozens of them. Some ending in broken guardrails, others just stopping. I realized then this wasn't a one-time mistake route. This place had history, and whatever was standing in that road wasn't new. So why hadn't I ever heard about it before? As the fog thickened and the mile marker ahead read 13 again, a colder thought settled in. What if truckers don't refuse this route because it's dangerous, but because once you understand what's out here, the road doesn't let you leave the same way you came in? By the time the mile marker read 13, for the third time, I knew turning around wasn't an option. The road behind me had faded into darkness, like it had been erased. My GPS stayed frozen, the radio whispered static between breaths, and the fog pressed against my windshield like it was listening. I told myself to stay calm, but calm doesn't survive long when the road itself refuses to make sense. How many times can a driver pass the same point before admitting something is deeply wrong? I eased off the accelerator and focused on the pavement ahead. That's when I noticed movement along the tree line. Not running, not stalking, just pacing me. Whatever it was stayed perfectly aligned with my cab, always just outside the headlights. I kept checking my mirrors, expecting to catch a glimpse, but they showed nothing except darkness. If nothing was there, then why did my trailer sway like something was brushing against it? The radio clicked again. Same voice. "Closer this time. Don't stop," the man said. That's when it notices you're scared. I shouted back, asking who he was, where I was, how to get out. Static swallowed my words. Then he spoke again, quieter. "We're all still driving. That's the problem." What did he mean by still? The smell hit next. Burnt rubber, hot metal, oil. My headlights caught something scattered across the road. Shattered glass, twisted bolts, a cracked side mirror reflecting my own terrified face. These weren't old wrecks. The debris looked fresh, like the accidents happened minutes ago. Or maybe they happened years ago and time just didn't move right here. How many trucks had ended up like this before me? Up ahead, my beams finally revealed the figure again, standing dead center in the lane. Closer now, I could make out its outline. Human shape, but wrong in subtle ways. Arms slightly too long, head tilted like it was curious. As I slowed, my engine sputtered, RPM dropping without warning. The radio screamed with overlapping voices, dozens of drivers talking at once, all asking the same question. Can you see? Why were they all here? And why did none of them sound alive? I made a choice no one else seemed to make. I closed my eyes and floored it. The engine roared back to life, the cab shook violently, and for a split second I felt resistance, like driving through something solid. Then everything went silent. No fog, no radio, no figure. I burst out onto a brightly lit highway just before dawn, traffic flowing like nothing ever happened. The GPS recalculated as if nothing was wrong. When I pulled over miles later, shaking, I checked my trailer. No damage, no debris, nothing. Except one thing. Spray painted across the back door in letters I didn't recognize but somehow understood were the words. You saw it. Now don't come back. That's why truck drivers don't take that route. Not because it kills you, but because once it lets you go, it remembers you forever.